Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Donna McCartney, and I'm honored to be your worship associate today. I'm joined by our intern minister, Kellie Kinsman, and Steve Morihiro and Susan Shaw, who are musical directors, and Danielle Lewis, our director of religious education for children and youth. So we all welcome you. Whether you've been here for 30 years or 3, 10 months or 10 minutes, and whether you strolled, rolled, zoomed, or danced in, we are glad you joined us today. So a special welcome to our visitors. If you're seeking a spiritual home, we hope that you will find it here. If you're seeking the bathroom, though, you need to go out the back doors to the left and in the old building, because that's where no bathroom in here. So we're a community of friends. Music, learning, and love. All are welcome. So we need not think alike to love alike. In the spirit of building this community, let's recognize the many volunteers who are here, have helped us put the service together. And then you see them all up there. Thank you all so much. Roomers, we invite you to silence your cell phones. Zoomers, good morning, Zoomers. We invite you to say hello in the chat. As we worship today, we want to acknowledge that this property rests on the ancestral homelands of the Hashiman and Tongva peoples. We work to heal the harm done to them many years ago by nurturing responsible stewardship and by working for justice. This morning, our intern minister, Kellie Kinsman, will talk about growing the compassion that forms our Unitarian Universalist values. How can we practice compassion among strangers, within our community, and as self-care? We begin our worship with the lighting of our chalice. And I don't have a clicker, so. All right, so let's say our affirmation together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. Thank you. To dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. This we affirm together. So please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our opening song.
Love will guide us, peace inside us, hope inside us, will lead the way. From the road from Greek to giving, love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep inside in you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way. On the road from greed to giving, love will guide us through the hard nights.
Good morning. It's good to see all of your faces today. Let's take a deep breath for me. There's going to be a little more running around that wasn't expected. Anyway, we're talking about cultivating compassion today, and in the ways that we do this, I found this poem by Reverend Dr. David Breeden, and I love the imagery of it, so I want to share it here. It's called Compassion Needs Weather. Compassion is not a hothouse flower. Compassion needs weather. The frost of failure, the storm of anger, the flood of regret. and the drought that says there's nothing left to say. Compassion loves rough soil, the stones, weeds, the cracks between our best intentions. Compassion does not bloom quickly. It leans toward light, but does not fear shadow. Compassion is not a hothouse flower. It is a tough, persistent wildflower growing between the cracks of the hardest, hottest days. Compassion loves the rough soil of humanity.
I've been a traveler on a lonesome road. Its winding has drawn me away, so far from home.
I turned my footsteps and hurried on, but still at the end of the day, I am so alone.
So love, come take me home. Show me the way. I've wandered for too long. Love, come take me home to stay.
One day I'll find an open door,
And open arms invite me in to belong once more. A touch, a smile, a friendly face will make strangers family in that welcome place. So love, come take me home. Show me the way. I've wandered for too long. Love, come take me home to stay. No more a traveler. No more to roam. A circle that's built by love will be my home. We'll share that circle and open it wide, so all weary wandering souls can be safe inside. So love, come take me home. Show me the way. I've wandered for too long. Love, come take me home to stay, to stay, to stay, to stay, to stay, to stay.
love will bring me home.
Today's Time for All Ages is called I Am Love, a book of compassion. When I see someone going through a storm of hurt and unfairness, of anger and sadness, when the sun disappears and the sky grows dark, I put my hands on my heart and listen, and that is where I find the answer. I have compassion, I act with tenderness. I am love. I can listen and not say a word. I can be there. Love is being present. I can hug and hold and say, everything will be all right. Love is comfort. I can speak softly and choose my words and actions carefully. Love is gentle. I can give thanks for all I have and am able to share. Love is gratitude. I can keep my mind and body safe and healthy. Love is taking care of me. I can express what is important to me. Love is creative. I can know that no one is perfect. Love is understanding. I can do my best to make things better when something is wrong. Love is effort. I can celebrate those I've loved before. Love is remembering. I can find goodness in kind words, a helping hand, or a shared smile. Love is tiny gestures. I can breathe in the air that the whole world shares, and know the creatures, are made of very same stardust. Love is connection. When the clouds roll in for others and for me, I know there is something I can do. I can let my heart lead the way. I am love. You are love. We are love. And with love, we will weather the storm and light up the sky together. What makes you feel loved? The end. I ask you to join us as we sing our children out to our religious education classes.
Thank you. Again, in reflecting on our Cultivating Compassion, I have a reading by Mark Nepo. We'll follow that with a brief meditation. Mark Nepo says, "My soul tells me we were all broken from the same nameless heart, and every living thing wakes with a piece of that original heart aching its way into blossom. This is why we know each other below our strangeness, why when we fall, we lift each other, or when in pain, we hold each other. Why, when sudden with joy, we dance together. Life is the many pieces of that great heart loving itself back together." Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Be comfortable in your bodies. Put your feet on the floor or not. Breathe into that deep place within yourself. That deep place that's quiet and still. That place that knows peace, even for a moment. Maybe you find a piece of compassion there. Water it. When you're ready, come back into the space and join the choir in our journeying song. papers everywhere. Talk about the gift of compassion, about cultivating compassion, growing our sense of compassion. It sounds really simple, and it is, and it's not. I ask myself, what is compassion? Because I don't tend to accept anything at face value. I need the deep dive. I need to explore what it means on all sides, whether it's a belief system, a teaching, or a movement, before making it part of my life and practice. In this case, I didn't want to rely solely on Buddhist teachings. There is a good understanding of compassion there, and surprisingly, that has been the easiest path for me. And I had to be perfectly certain that I didn't confuse compassion with something softer. I'm happy to say that I have come to an acceptable understanding. And here's what I think compassion is not. Compassion is not sympathy or pity, which are emotions that convey separateness between people, where the sympathizer observes suffering but doesn't engage further than nicely saying, "Oh, you're hurting, I'm sorry," and taking no further action. Compassion is not empathy, which is still an emotion and asks us to imagine what another's pain might feel like, creating a moment of shared suffering. Dr. Alex Lickerman, an MD and a longtime Buddhist practitioner, provides a simplified explanation that I'm okay with. He says, compassion, in my view, is neither empathy nor sympathy, but requires both. Empathy involves responding to another person's emotions with emotions that are similar. Sympathy entails feeling regret for another person's suffering. Compassion, on the other hand, is caring about another person's happiness as if it were your own. Compassion, then, is not just another emotion, but a verb that requires action. Compassion asks that I see your suffering and that I do what I can to help you ease your pain. We move from sympathy to empathy to compassion. We bring our act to our intention. Instead of standing across from the person in pain, we do what we can to help. We are called to action. Is compassion love? So often we use the words compassion and love interchangeably, and I wonder, are they the same? Maybe, but I tend to hold them separately and wonder, is compassion what we grow into, what we cultivate in ourselves as we learn to love? Our Unitarian Universalist values place love at the center of our values. Article 2 of our bylaws, where our values are stated, say this about love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. So love is what fuels our need and what guides our actions towards justice, generosity, interdependence, equity, transformation, and pluralism. Those are our new values. I want to think that compassion is the sum of all of our values, including love. It's an aspiration beyond imagining, a goal for humanity, a guiding force. And perhaps compassion is an inherent gift resting in each of us, like an inner wisdom waiting to be uncovered, a universal condition of being human. Is compassion our true core? Is compassion that which we seek? And why is compassion so important? Why can't I simply walk through life ambivalent to life outside of my own? I guess I could ignore what connects me. I imagine that would be miserable. I'll trust the philosophers and the prophets who have long been leading us to a larger, more inclusive definition of the acts of compassion, beginning with the Golden Rule. In her book, Sacred Nature, the author Karen Armstrong reminds us that Confucius was among the first to enunciate the Golden Rule. For context, Confucius lived between 551 and 479 BCE. The Golden Rule's been around for a long time. So Armstrong states, the Golden Rule, do not to others what you would not have done to you, was developed independently by all the great religious traditions. It seems deeply rooted in human morality. It requires us to look into our hearts, identify what causes pain, and then refuse to inflict that on anybody else. What's more, this benevolence cannot be confined to your own congenial group. It has been applied to everybody without exception. Compassion is the essence of religion and morality, and it is essential for the survival of humanity. End quote. The Golden Rule, in its simple wisdoms, seems to partially describe compassion, as it instructs us not to create suffering in a preventative way. However, I don't find the call to action to ease suffering. Maybe the action is in the Platinum Rule that tells us to treat others the way they want to be treated. I still have questions. Knowing myself as a human being, guessing that you might have similar thinking, I'd like to consider how, by our actions, we cultivate compassion in a variety of ways. How do we move with compassion in the larger community? Do we ask what is needed when we make donations to organizations that share our values? Compassion speaks through our intention and desire to ease suffering by providing support that is needed, not simply what we think is needed. Can we practice this process? Perhaps we already do. How do we act with compassion within this congregation and in the general public? How do we encounter people with needs? We here have assembled an amazing pastoral care team whose primary goal is to ease suffering. And as members of this congregation, we listen, we hear each other. Think about joys and sorrows. If only in that moment we practice, we create intentions to ease suffering. But what about when we encounter a stranger in need? Do we have an automatic no response when someone asks us for help? Or do we consider how we can help ease their suffering? It's hard because there's a personal judgment involved. How do we practice that thought process from no to maybe to yes, but to yes? That judgment is hard to make, and sometimes no is the most compassionate answer. When someone's need is something that will cause further harm to them, the compassionate thing is up to you. I find it hard, a decision to give you money when I think you're gonna go buy booze and you don't need that, but maybe you're hungry and maybe you're gonna buy food. I think there's a place where there's an absolute no, and there's a place where I'm not gonna judge you anymore. And I think that's a hard place to end up, having to do that. So how do we practice compassion for ourselves, as in self-care? And what does that feel like? I can only share my experience here. Self-compassion can be hard to remember. At times, compassion for myself feels like I'm reprogramming my mind away from the competitiveness of the world, away from comparing me to you, and letting go of real or imagined expectations, learning to be present in the moment. I remind myself that it's not about me when I engage in the unnecessary self-imposed suffering, like holding myself responsible for things over which I have no control. I'm learning to monitor the tension in my body and make adjustments. I've learned to pause, to breathe slowly, to meditate even for a few minutes, to recenter myself. I've come to accept that this is a constant practice and awareness. I've come to accept that I will only improve, but never perfect this practice. I'm going to guess that this is common for many of you. I'm going to guess that I am not alone on this path. Is relieving suffering enough motivation? Can that thought carry you through a practice of compassion? How do you feel when you release yourself to compassion? When you set aside your own suffering to help someone else? Do you feel a rush of joy at the kindness you've provided? I do. Or do you feel a universal goodness or love flowing through you in peace? I feel that too. So I'm always going to ask something of you. My questions today are: how will you notice your practice of compassion? How will you name that? How will you be aware of your own practice? How will you hold your awareness of suffering? How will you see that? How will you recognize your own suffering and the suffering of your neighbor? And lastly, how will you create ease? How will you relieve suffering? Your own or someone else's? How will you intentionally create ease? May it be so. Sorry, please rise.
Thank you, Kelly. Please rise and embody your spirit and join us in our returning song.
Oh, my heart, carry me through this world of dark and light. In my grief, grant me peace, let me heal. In my joy, let me soar as a hawk in azure sky. Healing heart, my ever friend, carry me. Soul friend, may you find in my eyes compassion. May I be listening ears to truly hear. When you fall, let me kneel, lend a hand friend, let me sing melodies to give you wings. May you find soft green hills to give you rest. May you be full of strength like a mountain still and free. Wise heart, illuminous like stars upon the sea.
Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting. We raise all the funds for our operating budget, ministries, and programs of this church. We're grateful to you for sharing your gifts with us in whatever form they take. OCUUC shares one half of the plate with a valuable community partner. This month we're sharing the plate with our nearby neighbor, Share Ourselves, just up the street. They provide comprehensive health and support services for the entire community, including offering social services like financial assistance and food distribution. So there are multiple ways that you can support the church and this organization. You see them on the screen. If you're a roomer, you can simply use the basket as it is passed. The choice is yours. So check out our website for more information, and thank you all so much for your generosity.
That was beautiful, Barbara. Thank you. Please join in singing We Gather Together, a song that puts our intentions into words and expresses our gratitude for the many gifts we share.
Thank
peace, love, and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
It's time to honor the important events in our lives. You are invited, one and all, whether you are a member, a friend, or a visitor, to participate in our weekly ritual of joys and sorrows. So let's take another deep breath. Perhaps you come here today holding something close to your heart, moments from the last days or hours that have struck you at your core. If you'd like to honor such a profound joy or sorrow, you are invited to do so. If you're a roomer, you're invited to come forward and light your candle. If you would like to share your joy or sorrow, you can write it on a slip of paper provided by the ushers and hand it to me when you come light your candle. If you're a Zoomer, you're invited to write your joy or sorrow in the chat. Once the roomers are done lighting candles, I will read all of the joys and sorrows shared out loud. As Don Martin lights a candle for the Zoomers. As music is played, I invite you to silently offer healing or celebration as you feel called and according to your own belief. Roomers, you can please come forward and Don will help in lighting our candles. Zoomers, any joys or sorrows you want to include in the chat? Okay, we'll see if they come up with something. Can we just light a generic candle for the Zoomers in case? For everything they haven't said, or everything they're holding in their hearts? Thank you. I'll keep watching. So in the room, Amy offers a sorrow. I offer a prayer for the father of 4 who lost his life cycling on PCH this last Monday in Huntington Beach. Please keep the family in your prayers. Thank you. Nathan shares a sorrow for the sudden death of our friend Jamie Isabel at the young age of 60 from a heart attack. Patrick shares a sorrow. I learned this weekend that the housing program would no longer have funding through next year. Anxiety and concern. Yeah. Jeffrey shares a joy. I had a recent MRI and things still look good. Yay. Lori K. and Anna R. share a joy as well. Happy birthday to our friend Paula P. Thank you for all you do for our church. Linda C. has a joy. The youngest of our 14 grandchildren turned 21 yesterday. Wow. A lot of laughing going on over there. Simone shares words of gratitude for recovering from a sprained ankle. That's always good news. Peggy shares healing and hope. Ava, the daughter of a lifelong friend, has just been diagnosed with breast cancer. I light a candle of healing, support, and hope for Ava and her family during this challenge. Shirley shares a joy. My daughter Wendy visited me for 2 days from New Mexico this week. I hope that was a good visit. So Manny on the Zoom shares, happy, so much peace and contentment here in the Zoomer chat. All blessings and joy. Yay. Thank you, Zoomers. Can we sit for a minute and just hold these sorrows and joys that were shared with us? Practice our compassion, our healing, and our hope. And Dawn's going to read a pastoral prayer for us.
On behalf of the congregation, we receive your joys and sorrows with deep gratitude. We honor the trust you have placed in us to hold both your gladness and your pain. Let us hold each other with deepest compassion. May our intention be to ease one another's suffering and to heal each other with the power of love. May we find the courage to continue on this journey together. May we know that we never travel this path alone. May we share compassionate intentions for our collective healing. May we breathe in peace and breathe out love.
So let's join together as we extinguish our chalice and the flame of our chalice and say, we extinguish our chalice. So thank you for joining us this morning. If you're a guest, a visitor, or someone new to our church, I invite you to get to know this beloved community. If you'd like to know more about our church, we invite you to either stop by the welcome table, which is out there in the courtyard, or we have information at that welcome table to help you know how to contact us. And you can also contact us with one of these emails that are on the screen. So please reach out. We would like to connect with you. We want everyone to feel a part of this community. So Zoomers, you're welcome to stay after and chat with one another online. Roomers, one way we can build community is by going to the card table, which is out there in the courtyard too, after the service, and writing a little message to our members to encourage them in whatever life event they're experiencing. It's a way for us to show our compassion. So our community is built on a foundation of love, so please reach out and we'll help you get connected.
We have some announcements. First of all, I want to say that Sean is away through Friday this week. She will be back for the animal blessing on next Sunday. About the animal blessing, when you bring your animals, and there's sorry, I'm going to get this wrong. There's a fundraiser going on to support a local shelter. And if you can have your dogs or cats or animals picture, if you donate to this fundraiser, then you will receive a picture of your animal. How's that? I'm pretty sure that's right. The other thing is you're gonna do the barbecue. I'm sorry about this. Maybe it's in here. Oh no, there was something extra that I wrote down, and I didn't have anything for Thanksgiving. Oh, you're giving me a hard time. Okay, I got it. Daylight savings time ends next Sunday, November 2nd. So Sean says you'll have an extra hour to get your pet into their carrier or on their leash to bring them to the service. So you can participate in the fundraiser, donating to the shelter, and get a picture of your animal. Yeah. Danielle, our RE director, has a trick-or-treat planned for this morning right after the service. Some of you may have been asked to participate if you have she was going to pass out buckets with candy so the kids will come in. So she's going to come back in at the end of the service, and if you can stay for that, or do like out on the patio, do like Easter egg hunt, she said. No, we're going to do a Halloween candy hunt. Either way, if we can stay, that will be great. Animal fundraiser, the auction. Am I on the auction? Yeah. Okay, so the auction deadline is tonight at midnight for submitting auction items to the catalog, and we need more donations. You'll need to buy your barbecue meal ticket at the table in the courtyard. And I'm to remind you, this is a barbecue, not a potluck. Seems there's been some confusion. So you need to buy a ticket for your meal, not bring a dish. Also, I'm told, because I'm new here, there is vegetarian and vegan options, not just salad. And that was my question. Do you want to talk about the auction here?
So I wanted to share with you my experience. For those of you who have not done one of our auctions before, I want to encourage you to buy your tickets out there, just like Kelly was saying, and come. And my experience has been my favorite experience so far. I've joined about 4 years ago. And my first auction event that I bought was a lovely dinner at Dawn and Sandy Martin's house. And it was just a wonderful experience. And now, since I was new, it was a great chance for me to talk to the members, one-on-one and in a nice casual, setting. So that was really lovely. So thank you for that. I have been loving to be participating in the auction as well. So last year I threw a Cinco de Mayo party. That was my auction number. And this year it's Happy St. Patrick's Day. So feel free to please join in. Today is actually the last day to get in your requests for what you're going to donate to the auction, because we have to print the catalog and it's coming up in 2 weeks, so very soon. So anyway, that's my experience. Thanks.
We're done with this. Thanks for appreciating my humanity up here. Our last announcement is about the survey. We have that slide? If an interest and activity survey that has been sent out in the blast. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out. It's very simple. You identify yourself so we know who's interested in what. And there are questions. What are you interested? What are you interested in? And, for different categories. And lastly, it asks you if you have other interests that aren't listed. It's very simple, and it's very helpful for the program committee, the program director, program council, to put together new programming for next year or the year after, and to direct us in ways that we want to go. So the survey takes less than 10 minutes to complete, and everyone who participates on or before November 9th will have their name dropped in a hat for a $25 gift card to Mendocino Farms. Hard copies will be available on Sunday today, on Sunday out on the patio, for if you want to complete a paper form instead. If you have any questions about this, please reach out to the VP of Programs, Catherine Martin. There she is. Sorry. So that's announcements. I have a very simple benediction. Go do good in the world. Practice compassion. Pause to breathe and take care of each other and yourselves. We'll sing our sending out song. Continue our service in the greater community. Thank you all.